Hello, everybody. Okay. I'm actually having a nice hot cup of tea. It hasn't gone cold yet, so it's pretty good. Okay, so the reason I decided to talk about elementally is every time I do post something or someone sees something, they'll say to me, but what does it mean if I have a lot of metal, or what does it mean if I have a lot of earth? So what it actually means is I'm going to describe each element, and I've actually written it on the board in front of me. So if I could show you the board so that I do not miss anything, I sat here and just wrote all these things. So I don't know if you're going to be able to see the board. There's the board. I just did that. Okay. So, and I needed a cup of tea after that. All right. So what we're looking at, and I've also got a piece of paper here, and I'm just going to tick off as I say them so I do not miss anything. Okay. So for wood is very, very hard working. Wood is also, they actually work with commitment. At the same time, wood is determined, wood is confident. Wood are also what we call empaths. And it's really funny because my son Harrison last week said, Mum, this house is holding on to you. Okay, so I said, yeah, okay. So I'm not going to say more than him. But then yesterday when I was at a workshop in Caulfield, and Sharon was doing a bit of theatre, and she said to me, the house is scared that you're leaving and it's going to be knocked down. And then in my head, I just laughed. She didn't know I was laughing, but yeah. And then I told Harry today when I was at his school. So anyway, they are empaths. They also put others' needs before their own at the same time. So how much wood do you have in your chart? Are you organized? Wood tells you if you're organized. So does metal, but yeah, at the same time. Wood is also motivated. So again, how motivated you are or how creative you are is also from how many ticks you actually have in the wood elements. The other is fire. So with fire is very, very intuitive, because where does fire go? Fire goes up. And so what you've got to do is, sorry, what is that? Okay. Sorry, all right, I shouldn't have touched that. Okay, so with fire, they're very impatient. Fire is like they just charge at everything in that way. That's why they should be good on, well, they should be actors and people on stage, because they show off things. They're very polite. As I said, they're very impatient. They also don't beat around the bush. Okay. At the same time, fire, I said intuition, they're the action people, fire are. So again, how much fire do you have in your chart? And if you have even just one tick, it means you have those qualities. Okay. The next one is tick. The next one is earth. So with earth is conventional. They're very comfortable in any society, because those that have learnt pillars understand that yang earth and yin earth, they do not clash with any element. They can walk into a room and speak to any element, whereas the rest of us will actually look for our favourable element or feel where our favourable element is and then speak to that person. They're very reliable, they're very nurturing, they're very accommodating at the same time. They can be suspicious of others. So, you know, it's the trust and mistrust thing, which I talk about a lot in the workshops. They're maybe not as ambitious because they're just too busy taking care of every Tom, Dick and Harry in that way. So really you need to do whatever you've got to do and stop. No is the word. I don't know if I spelled that right that way anyway. Okay, so what's 2018, people? It is earth on earth. So that's a lot of earth. So if you already have 1, 2, 3, whatever, how many ticks in earth, then the year has come along as earth. That's another 2 ticks in earth. So you can understand why this year is very accommodating, very nurturing. You're putting others before yourself. It's about gathering. It's about the society, that kind of thing. Excuse me. The next is metal. So with metal, metal is also determined. They're unyielding. They're virtuous. They're methodical. Metal are people that are admired because, you know, they're the ones that kind of are holding that sword and it's like, off with your head. Most metal people already have a head start, and the head start actually comes from family. So, you know, they take on things from family. They take one thing and turn it into something else. And it's kind of what I've done a little bit of as well. I know mine did. Mine provided a totally unexpected resource for me. They are fair, they fight for justice at the same time, and very independent, because you know what? No one can do it as good as a metal person can. Then we have water. Water can actually come in and diffuse situations, or they can turn that situation into a tsunami. So either way, they're very good at transforming. They do have intuition, because remember that water is beautiful and smooth on top, but there's depth to this water. So again, emotionally vulnerable at the same time. They are successful with encouragement. So if you do have a water child, you need to encourage them at the same time. They do hide their feelings because nobody knows what's down here. So again, how many ticks do you have in water? That will then show you how many you actually have of, you know, what's going on in your own destiny. So that's the water. Let's say tomorrow you woke up and decided you are going to wear green and white. So we've got green is the wood, white is the metal. So then you are going to look at what is green. Green is wood, white is metal. So what is wood for you and what is metal for you? And that's what your day is about. You foretell your own day if you pay attention. If you're not paying attention, it's not going to happen. You know, you're not going to understand what I'm actually saying to you right now. So let's say, think about what you chose today. What did you choose to wear today? Then look at it for you in your chart of what that aspect was, as well as look at it, what was it today? So as I said, the wood is about determination. It's creative. You know, metals also determined the fairness, the virtue. Earth is the conventional, you know, taking care of people. Fire is the polite, the showing off, the action. And then water is success, but transforming that at the same time. So what did you pick out of your wardrobe? Uniforms are not counted here. So that's how it works. What did you choose? Have a look at it tomorrow. What did you, just go to your wardrobe and choose. If it's uniform, no, but choose. What did you choose? Then you know elementally what you have chosen for today. What you have chosen to do today. Are you going to fight for justice today? Are you going to be hardworking and confident today? Are you going to, be action today? So that's how the elements actually work. Okay, so hopefully that helps a little bit. There's a thing that keeps coming up, guys, and I actually have no idea what it means, but I will leave it alone for now, and I'm hoping it's working. All right, now, with the year is the earth dog. The earth dog means the dog, they work themselves into the ground. So that's what you're breathing for the whole year. You are working very, very hard, very cautious, very loyal, and you're spending your money. Spend through. So it's like that. But then the month comes in, and the month is Earth Rabbit. The rabbit is very logical. The rabbit is rational at the same time. So also with the rabbit, they're very determined in a relationship because a rabbit is actually a romance flower. And so with the rabbit, where, you know, it's devoted to family. What do rabbits do? They just make family. Okay, so that's what the month is about and the year is about. Then we have you. For instance, what animal are you sitting on? We're talking about the animal you sit on, nothing else, because this is about what is this rabbit doing to you this month. Okay, so let's say you sit on an ox. Both the rabbit and the ox are both very, very stable. The ox works hard, you know, sunrise to sunset. The rabbit actually defends the ox in a relationship because the ox, we all know ox is very, very stubborn. They both have common sense. They're not risk takers in that way. And especially in a crisis, they both don't like crisis. They don't know what to do, or confrontations. Both will just walk away from either. Okay, so the ox. If you sit on a tiger, the tiger is a travel star while the rabbit is a romance flower. So the tiger is the more adventurous one. They both don't like to feel trapped at the same time. They're both wood elements, so it's a wood tiger and a wood rabbit. So they share that element at the same time. The tiger actually can become restless with the rabbit because the rabbit just wants to be, they like to sit and think and be creative, create more babies. They both want security, but the tiger becomes restless and then will start to wander off. So elementally, they are both the same. They're wood. So look at what wood is for you if you do in that way. It's just that the rabbit loves some time alone. The tiger's pounce, pounce, pounce. Okay. The next one is the rabbit. The rabbit with a rabbit, very peaceful, very content, very harmonious. They're comfortable. They're reliable together. They love the fact that they have each other. They're not prepared for anything that is actually unexpected. And this is why they, any circumstance that actually happens in the world, they're just not prepared for it. So two rabbits, neither of them are going to step up. Okay. The dragon and the rabbit. The dragon is also an adventurer like the tiger is. But the rabbit loves the security, the affection, all of that. And the rabbit actually withdraws when that balance is actually threatened. So the dragon should actually be more gentle towards or with the rabbit. Okay, because the rabbit actually will feel like that they're losing control and they can't keep keep up with the dragon at the same time. The dragon is the charmer. The dragon is attentive, but not consistent for the rabbit. So yeah, the rabbit's pretty demanding if you think about it now. Okay, so a lot of work has to be done this month with those two. The next one is the snake. So the snake and the rabbit should allow the snake to open their eyes because, you know, the rabbit's just sitting in that corner doing what they do best. They don't see this exciting world that is around them, whereas the snake takes more risks. The snake sheds its skin, you know, loves a challenge here and there, and it's not frightened by sudden change as the rabbit actually is. They both actually don't mind escaping together because the snake is a travel star, and so they love nature that way, etc. But they can actually get along together so well that the days can fly by, or you know the snake takes one too many risks. Okay. Because the snake is fire, the rabbit is wood. Wood by nature feeds the fire, so it's a very harmonious relationship in that way. Okay, it's just the snake just needs to I don't know what the word is actually. Calm down a little bit more, maybe. Okay. All right. The next is the horse and the rabbit. So the horse and the rabbit. The horse is very excitable, very passionate. It's a romance flower. So is the rabbit. But the horse gets carried away by romance. The rabbit loves devotion and affection from the horse. And, you know, the rabbit kind of withdraws when the horse is the peak of fire. So it's like that midday sun. It's like, whoa, it's like that. They both do love each other, and they can have great adventures because they're both romance flowers at the same time. But the rabbit's kind of the resource for this fire. So advice, ideas will come from the rabbit to the horse. The horse being so excitable won't stop to listen in that way. So again, you know, you're sitting on the horse, romance flower, the rabbit's a romance flower. Yeah, making babies. Okay. Then we've got, after the horse is the goat. So with the goat and the rabbit, they actually are soulmates, because in the cycle of the elements, the rabbit and the goat are, and the goat will actually climb a damn wall to calm that rabbit down if it has to. They both cannot deal with the unexpected, so they can stay calm and work it out together. The rabbit really is the one that has to offer the security for the goat, because the goat is just off. Yeah, you know, it doesn't know it's not meant to climb down walls, etc. So again, they are soulmates though in a way, and their relationship can be great. Okay, the next one is the monkey. The monkey is scheming. The rabbit is very quiet, more reserved. They can have a caring relationship in that way, but someone will always get emotionally hurt because the monkey is just like his behavior is over the top, and then you know how they're not going to stop until someone gets hurt. That's that. Yeah. And the monkey is a travel star. So there's a lot of movement when the two are together, but the movement is only from the monkey. Then we've got the rooster and the rabbit. They actually are both romance flowers, and they can't stand each other. So for a relationship like this to actually work, there has to be trust, big trust, because the rooster is boisterous, it's unpredictable, and the rabbit wants to curl up in a corner in front of a fire, that kind of thing. So the rooster loves performing in front of others, and then the rabbit resents that kind of thing. So the rooster is too much for the placid rabbit. So the relationship, there's got to be something that comes in to keep it together. But as just a rooster and a rabbit, no. If the other person, say, for instance, had what is best mates with the rooster, a dragon, or the other had what's best mate with the rabbit, which is a dog, it may work a little bit, but no. Okay. Then we've got the dog and the rabbit. So we already know they both have this harmony, and they have this harmony because at the same time they are both honest and honourable together. The dog is protective, fiercely protective. The rabbit finds a way to restore peace when when the dog goes off, whoa, 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 that kind of thing. And together they actually defend each other. They do deliver realistic things. They're not the risk takers. And that's why the relationship also works together. The two together, when the dog and the rabbit come together, they make more no, I'll come back to that, but it's not what I was thinking of. Okay, so then we've got the pig. the pig and the rabbit. The pig and the rabbit, very humble, very peaceful at the same time, relationship-wise. They, you know, if a pig and a rabbit were sitting in a room, you can't hear a pin drop. Okay. The rabbit, believe it or not, rescues the pig because by nature, the rabbit is the wood, the pig is the water. It's his outlet. So when the pig gets in trouble, it goes from the pig to the wood. So the wood, the rabbit rescues. It's the way out for it. Okay. They love the togetherness and the space for it, and they do have space for each other at the same time. So that's pretty good relationship. This is what I was talking before about the rabbit and the goat. So it's pig, rabbit, goat together, the three. Okay. Anyway, then we've got the rat. I left the rat to last, even though he's first in our cycle. I don't know why. Anyway, the rabbit and the rat. The rat's drive is unnerving. Okay. Now, the two of those together in 4 pillars are called a penalty because they're not grateful for each other. So what ends up happening is this rat has his sharp criticism, whereas the rabbit, it's kind of like he's the weakest link. And so it's the strongest link to the weakest link. Yeah. He can't keep up with the rat. The rabbit just can't. And the rat loves a challenge. You know, the rat is hidden as well. Then the rabbit will just withdraw because he's not as competitive as the rat and he's more careful. The rat is more hidden. Although they both need security in relationships if it's going to work. How you do that, I don't know. So again, you know, think about that. The year I've handed on is change. So even your own perception, I've been saying in the workshops to take your blinkers off. So I've talked about the elements, as in what each element is, what it means for you. You look up what it means for you, but you already know what it is also now elementally. Just a few, you know, characteristics that you may have. Then we've done the animals with this month as well. So just keep in mind also that when you take your blinkers off, you'll see other doors open as well. So the moment you change that perception is the moment you rewrite the chemistry of your body. I can't remember who. No, it's not there. Anyway, I wanted to talk about something because somebody posted it just before, and it was about Feng Shui. Feng Shui means you incorporate yellow into your kitchen. That's Feng Shui. It has nothing to do with that, straight out. The other is fruits and flowers bring an uplifting energy into your kitchen. That is not Feng Shui. Okay. And in Feng Shui, fruits are seen as symbols of longevity, prosperity, fertility. Not Feng Shui. It's part of culture, Chinese culture. You know, the peach is like the peach is like the what do you call it? The young girl's bottom, things like that, and yeah. So it's part of culture. It actually has nothing to do with Feng Shui. So you did that on purpose, Harvey. You just wanted to see me fire up. Okay, and that's it. Any questions, guys? I have a workshop at home this Sunday. So those of you that haven't made to a workshop, and then there is one in Rosanna next Wednesday, the 21st or the 22nd. I can't remember. Okay, I think it's the 21st at 2 p.m. for those that can't make the nights. And that's it. Any questions? That was a lot. That's 24 something minutes. Wow. Okay. All right. I'm going back to my cup of tea. I hope you enjoyed that. And keep the questions coming. So that's why I make these from your questions. I like those little things. All right. Thank you very, very much.